bless me, bless me. Bongo bless me. God bless me. Bongo bless me. Bless me, bless me. Bongo bless me. Kayuaka abedo bera tonga gimakonya abuki munba dunje kongo manjaga dwanega seche moko richo makamalicho agombo mana neko richo pongo denda umia ywagi nyakalago bongo ya bongo bless me bless me bless me bongo bless me God bless me bless me, bless me, bless me, Abong bless me,
Amazing. Amazing music right here on Art and Culture Monday from none other than Mak Adem, the legend. I am should I say I am elated to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, you will not find this music elsewhere. I can guarantee you for a fact. And before I say too much, I want Mark to say hello. Mark, to Salimia, tell us, how is your morning? How is your Monday morning? Say hello to our audience before we jump right in.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be on KUTV. This is a very, very special TV for me because I'm talking to young people, and you know, life is about the younger, you know, because that's the future. Great things. This is Nyatiti, if you never heard about it. And my name is Mak Adem. He's Nyatitiness himself. So this Nyatiti is classified as a liar. If you want to do it, this You can do it. You can play R&B with this. You can play hip hop. Whatever you want to play with this is an instrument.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be on your Art Monday program. Asante sana.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And we do love Anyatiti. We have had quite a number of them, but I don't think I have seen a more sophisticated one than the one that you have, Mark.
It's not really sophisticated. The thing is, necessity is the mother of invention.
All
so
right.
the reason it has these guitar pegs is because of when you go with the traditional ones, which are raffia based tuning, the bulge, they are prone to weather changes.
Okay.
For example, if you go to Mombasa or you go to Zanzibar, they'll be stuck on this bar, on the yoke here, because of the humidity. When you go to cold countries in winter, like in Switzerland, I had a problem in the middle of my show whereby they just opened up because now the wood is shrinking, and so they just opened up. Then, of course, like right now we're in the studio, how do you get my sound easily? You have to plug it in. So you need a pickup. So some of these things that we accuse of being West, it has nothing to do with the West.
Well,
it only has to do with the necessity.
Necessity has led to the invention of all those additions that have happened.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing, amazing. We are loving it because, like I have said, a lot of inventions have been, added to it to make it easier, to make it nicer for you, to make it, even easy for wherever you go, because you have gone to many, many countries. You have been to many situations and scenarios, and we are loving the additions that have come to the Nyatiti because of your experience. So let's go back kidogo and just ask, when did Mak Adem start singing or start performing?
Long time ago.
Yes.
I began as a cover band, just with my brother, because my brother, we used to be broke, and then I would ask my brother for money, and my brother was a musician in Mombasa.
Yes.
So at some point he said, "Can't you sing?" So he gave me a tape. I went and learned Malaika, Jambo Bwana, you name it, a lot of Western and Caribbean music.
Yes.
So now, within there, I started composing my own songs. I called them Anglo-Hangla. That was, I'm talking about 96, 97.
Yes.
And I called them Anglo-Hangla, Anglo-Benga. I was actually targeting Luo.
Yes.
But in English, because of having been exposed to Caribbean music, which is very Africanized English. Some of them is not really pidgin. But you can see this is pronouncing it in an African way. So I got to love that. People like Harry Belafonte and Mighty Sparrow. So then I started hearing about Hardstone. Then I went into dancehall, and those are the first ones I recorded. So most people always tend to think, he began as a rapper, but no, I did not begin as a rapper. I began doing my own Anglo-Hangla, Anglo-Benga, doing covers, and then now because of Hardstone, being on air, I composed a song that was dancehall, and it was called Mr. Lololova. And that song became big back then because the media was still coming up, and it got itself into FM stations. And then in 2001, I moved. In 2003 actually is when I relocated to Nairobi. And I met a producer called Tabo Susa, and he wanted to record me as a rapper. But I just wanted to give him more information about who I am. And so I told him I just don't rap. I also do my own music. I play guitar. That time I was not playing Nyatiti. And then he said, "Can I hear what you do?" So I played for him a song. And he was impressed because I said, "Give me back that comb hair. Give me back that comb hair. Jaluo, my brother. Good Biro #1, good long Marachar, good Biro Goija Canal. I say, give me back that comb." He was so impressed. "You sing African music in English?" I said, "Yes." I call it Anglo-Benga, Anglo-Hangla. I said, "Okay, I'm more interested in this. But I'll support you with your rap." Because he still believed that I was more into.
You are a good rapper. Yes.
So then that's the birth of Mak Adem now in 2005.
And then since you have been doing music after music, and a lot of it, I just had to pause and ask, because you have performed alongside great acts. Like, what are some of your best memories, and which musicians were you performing alongside that were really, that were star places in your career?
I'm actually, nowadays I call myself master of invention, reinventing himself. Because when you talk about who are the great acts I've done with, there's a time I was more or less like a reggae artist. And Shashamane loved me. And so I opened up for Gregory Isaac. I opened up for for Mighty Culture. I opened up for Glenn Washington. You name it, you know. And then again, I changed into now opening up for Baba Mal, Mahotela Queens, performing with Sheun Kuti, and then I'm my own person.
Yes.
You know, so I'm moving from being a dancehall artist into being an Afrofusion artist, into now coming up with my own Nyatiti kind of style. I do Nyatiti acoustic, like what I've just done, the Obongo Bless Me.
Yes.
That's total Nyatiti acoustic. And I'm also working on what I call Nyatiti jazz. So I've been around.
Yes.
And that's why, and I like myself for one thing, I always love learning. So, and then I bring it to home into the Nyatiti, trying to, because people tend to say, oh, that's an ancient instrument. There is no ancient instrument. An instrument is just an instrument.
Yes, just that.
Yes, just use it to do what you want to do with it.
Exactly.
If you want to play Mogidi with this, it's up to you. You know,
wow.
You look for that melody here, you will find it.
And you will find it there.
Yes, you want to do Momboko here,
yes,
you'll find it. You know, so, yeah. So I've performed in big places.
Yes.
In the US, I managed to perform at the Kennedy Center. There's a time Kenya was one of the countries that was being represented in one of the biggest festivals in the US called the Smithsonian Folklife Festival.
Yes.
You can only do it in one life.
Yes.
Because each country only does one. And 2014 was Kenya.
Exactly.
And I was one of the artists
you got
selected.
The opportunity.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I also got selected to do Kennedy Centers. Kennedy Center is only for the exclusive.
Yes.
And so that's one of the biggest. And I've also managed to perform for very, very big crowds in countries whereby capital cities full of over 20, 30 million.
Yes.
Mexico City.
Yes.
In Mexico City, getting 100,000 people is like getting 100 people in Nairobi.
Yes.
Just like that. So I've gone there twice.
Yes. Is it because they are lovers of music?
There's that, but it's also very populated. Nairobi is less than 5 million.
Yes.
I'm talking about a city with over 40 million, you know.
A whole country. In short, Kenya in a country, in a city.
In a city.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask this. What inspires your reinventing? Because you have been in this industry for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So what inspires? What makes you know, oh, Mak Adem, it's time to move from rap into, something else.
Yes.
Then we are moving from this. Now we are going into Afro music. What inspires your reinventing?
Basically, I'm a natural. I'm not trying to fake up by being a musician. And I'm a musician. I'm not just an artist.
You are a musician.
I'm a musician. And being a musician means you're a creative. You're ever creating with an instrument. You're creating with your vocals. You're creating with your performance. These are all different parts of you as a musician.
Exactly.
You know, as a performer, as a singer, as a player of your instrument.
Yes.
And you can't be in one place because then you will be annihilated.
Yes, true.
Time will pass.
Yeah.
So if you're a very good creative, you're a natural, you always just come up with something newer than staying in your old self.
Yes.
You know, because just like age, you keep moving. You grow from one age to another, to another, to another. You see that?
Exactly.
So it's the same with your creativity. It should be improving and not. Because a musician does not retire.
Yes.
A musician runs out of ideas.
Ah.
There is no retirement in creativity.
Yes.
It's your passion. How do you retire from wanting to eat githeri?
Exactly. You cannot.
You only make it better.
True.
You add something that you saw with the Swahilis. You add something you saw with the Indians.
Yes.
You add something you saw in Italy. You add something you saw with the Nigerians.
Yes.
You only make it better. You don't say, nowadays I can't eat
yes.
Rabuan because now I only eat rice.
Yes. There is no retiring.
So
in
if you're a good creative,
yes,
you should be able to reinvent yourself. But too, as a business artist, as a business musician,
yes,
reinvention is key because every 2 to 5 years, there are young people coming into the market.
Oh yes,
they are vibrant, they're sexy, they're hot.
Yes,
you know, and in art, the younger, the better. So how do you compete with this? How do you be Kofi going against Fali?
Exactly.
You know.
True. True. I like that comparison, especially.
That's a very good one.
True, because there will always be new Falis coming into the music industry, and somehow you have to remain relevant.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing. I love the way you keep reinventing yourself. And that is why you are here even as a time like now, you know, because we'll be looking who are the upcoming artists,
Yes.
who are the young people.
Yeah.
But inside that ball, we find Mak Adem. And
by the way, they are also looking up to you.
Yes.
Yet you're also looking at them.
Exactly.
Like in 2020, when I was in Denmark, I decided to do a song for the epidemic that was there, the pandemic. I called
Yes.
it Plandemic.
Yes.
It's there online.
Yes.
And I decided that I was going to do it as trap using this Nyatiti.
Yes.
It took me 2 weeks listening to 16-year-old Americans,
Yes.
how they're doing trap. So
Yes.
this is me looking at somebody with the age of my son, trying to learn what are they doing.
Yes. What is this that they are doing?
So as a musician, as an artist, you should also do your research. You're not just there. You can't just be there. You should do research. You should learn. You should go out, watch other artists perform.
Yes.
So as much as the younger will look upon you, you cannot
also
look down to them. Because I remember when I was starting music in the late 90s, and once at that time, Hugh Masakela was asking Channel O, why did the collaboration with Squatter Camp?
Yes.
At that time, Squatter Camp was like the biggest
yes.
rap group that was doing Kwaito.
Yes.
And his answer, at that time it didn't bother me, but I've always remembered it.
Yes.
He said, the youth know the hood.
Yes.
So you want to get into the hood?
You need to do what
They
the
are the
youth
gatekeepers
is.
of that
Exactly.
So which means
that.
he was doing his research, he was looking what are they doing.
Yes.
You can actually bring it. And by the way, if I do anything that's being done by an 18-year-old, by a 25-year-old right
Yes.
now, it might come to be thought that it was my idea.
Yeah.
Because
True.
me, I've been there.
Chances are.
Yes, before that person ever makes it, they say, he's copying Mak Adem.
Yes.
Yet it is the reverse.
It is the other way around.
Yeah.
Could we hear a bit of trap though? Because now I'm excited for it.
It was not part of it, but yes, why
yes,
not?
You know, we can listen to
It's
a
called
bit.
a pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not exactly what the 19-year-old would want, but
Yes.
it is hip hop.
Yes.
This is a pandemic. You make it look like a pandemic. The whole world got an epidemic. Fact is, it's all academic. One, put on a mask, keep your hands clean. No shaking your hands, no hugging, no kissing, no touching, no travel. Keep your distance. Stay at home, stay safe. This is the pandemic. Two things you must get used to. Quarantine one at a time. This is not a way it used to be. Curfews, lockdown. This is all military. What is? This is the pandemic. 3, the COVID-19 daily briefing. To flatten the curve, we need a vaccine. Call the medic before going for testing. Fever, dry cough, tiredness, symptoms. No panicking, no need to go hospital, breathless. Chest pain, speechless. You need an immediate medical attention. Coronavirus is an epidemic. This is the pandemic. You make it look like a pandemic. The whole world got an epidemic. Fact is, it's all academic. Pakata pakata katika chaka chaka chap chap. Kukuru kakaraka pata mapacha pap pap. Pakata pakata katika chaka chap. Kukuru kakaraka pata mapacha. Fact is all. Yeah, the song's called Plandemic. You can actually find it on YouTube,
Yes.
Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, you name it.
Plandemic by
Plandemic.
Mak Adem.
It's not a conspiracy because
Yes.
of the name. I was just playing with the word silly. Because at that time, Plandemic became a conspiracy in
Yes.
2002.
Yes.
It earned me actually an interview with VOA. They wanted to know whether I'm a conspiracist.
Yeah.
And then I said, no, I was just playing with the forwards. You know,
Yes.
This is the pandemic.
Exactly.
You make it look like a pandemic. The whole world got an epidemic. Fact is, it's all academic, but
Yes.
it's actually advisory. Fact. Put on a mask. Keep your hands clean. You know.
I like the way, do you know, during Corona, there was a lot of
Yes.
artists coming together to do something about this pandemic.
Yes.
And I could relate right into your song because that was exactly
Yes.
what was happening.
It was
at
basically
the
what
time.
governments were doing, what people had to do.
Yes.
That I put in a song.
Yes, you are. That was phenomenal, brilliant at least. You
But
know,
like
at
I
its
told you,
least was.
we go back to our topic of reinvention,
Yes.
I had to go and look at what are these youth guys doing so
Yes.
that I could do a song that can actually go to them rather than for me and the older people.
And the older people, the older generation.
Yeah.
We are loving to see it. I want us to talk about your Nyatiti for a little bit. I know we have talked about, I like the fact that you have reinvented it as you have reinvented yourself. And I am tempted to ask, how many genres of music can you play on the Nyatiti?
I think you can play almost any genre.
Yes.
Because it normally goes with the arrangement of your song. Yeah. So you can actually just flip. Because basically what I'm doing with my Nyatiti, I'm not playing very traditional way. Although the rap one, I went with the traditional rhythm.
Yes.
But there are some that totally go away. I have a song I do in, I have a piano song.
Yes.
I have chakacha.
Yes.
You know, I have R&B. You know, though me, I'm not really an R&B singer. But if I gave it to a very good R&B singer, they will actually see that that's actually R&B.
Yes.
So you can actually, you can even do rock with it. It's up to you.
Yes.
Because what do we need in a rock is just a rock guitar.
Yes.
Not really. You can keep the rhythm somewhere and then bring in the rock guitar. Like right now, what I'm doing with the Nyatiti Jazz is I'm keeping the rhythm. I'm the main guy.
Yes.
But then now I have supportive group from the keyboard player to a lead guitarist, to a bass guitarist, to a drummer, to percussionist, to vocalist, to saxophone player, bringing in those elements of jazz.
Yes. But the Nyatiti is still in the middle of everything else that is happening
but
around.
If you just want to go with it towards R&B, you want to go with it towards Kwaito, yes, you can.
Then it is a very volatile instrument.
Yeah.
If it
I
can
have songs
do
that are
that.
typically Fela Kuti Afrobeat, later on the Afrobeats of the Yemi Alades of today.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the one that they are taking the ideas from, the one of the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
Yes, I have a song that I've recorded with Lithuanian DJs that they've taken it towards that.
Exactly. Yeah. What is the purpose of the openings on the body of the Nyatiti?
Which openings?
The holes on the
like this one.
hole, yes, that one, exactly.
This one, I think traditional, this one was their amplifier. Because sound has to come out.
Yes.
So where does it come out from? It needs to come out from here.
It needs
but right now you see we are picking it up.
Yes.
Into the system.
Into a cord that now, exactly.
Yes. This is a membrane which picks the sound. And you can see this where my microphone is being picked.
Yes.
So the skin, which was traditionally made from the neck of an ox, is the membrane. Is the one that picks the sound. And then it has a bridge here. I'm yet to remove this bridge with the traditional glue made from beeswax. And of course the strings now coming from the yoke down here. And then you have the resonator, which is wood and not a calabash like some people think.
Yes, that is actually wood.
This is actually wood. And this, now getting this amongst the Luo is very hard because the government has a ban on cutting indigenous huge trees.
Trees, yes.
So I'm actually lucky to have a big Nyatiti.
Yes.
Most of them are smaller.
Are quite smaller.
Yeah, they are quite small. And this one was, this is a special one, was given to Tabo Susa, the proprietor of Ketable Music, by Okumu Korengo. Okumu Korengo died a few years ago, and he was a masterclass teacher somewhere in Siaya. And he taught this Japanese girl, Anyango. I don't know if you need to bring Anyango here someday. Anyango is Japanese. She came as a young girl to Nairobi, took the Nyatiti. And learned Doluo and learned Nyatiti and learned the culture.
We should arrange for you to bring Anyango here.
Yes, so while I find it very special, first it was given to Tabo Susa by Okumu Korengo, who also taught a great Japanese artist. And this is like one of the few ladies playing Nyatiti because, you know, traditionally, music for some reason, especially the instrument in Africa, they were male.
Were male dominated, true.
Yeah, so Anyango said it took her a while to convince Okumu Korengo to accept to teach a woman.
Teach her.
Yes, first she's not a Luo.
Yes.
Then she's a woman. Man, the spirits were not accepting until one day the spirit said yes, so he called her.
Yes. I think we should. I think we should definitely bring her on here. You know, for us guys to get to enjoy people that are doing great work in terms of art, you know, being a woman and play. Because I have had a number of artists who are playing the Nyatiti, but never a woman. So even
we also have here in Nairobi.
Yes.
We have people like Judith Bwire. We have Christine Demba. We have Atisana. And I think Akoth Jumad is also coming up with it.
Yes, Akoth Jumad
Akoth is
has
coming.
been here.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
coming up with Nyatiti now.
Uh-huh.
So I know those few, and Susan used to do it. I don't know if she's still doing it. Before I started doing it, Susan played a few songs,
Yes.
recorded.
Yes.
Nyatiti, yeah.
Wow, we are going to get them. We're going to get them to come here because this is art and culture. It's the fusion of our culture plus art.
Yeah.
So we are excited to have them, and we're going to make plans. Of course, now with the help of Mak Adem, because he's been here, we're going to take that advantage and get those artists here to just hear and listen to the music that they are making. So Mark, then COVID happened. Then COVID went away somehow. And how has the music industry changed after COVID, especially here in Kenya?
I think it did do a lot of harm, but not to solo acts.
Yes.
Solo acts who knew business, and by solo act I mean people who play like Nyatiti, because Nyatiti is a one-man
Sure.
show.
Yes.
Me actually became busy. I got stuck in Europe for 7 months in 2020. I couldn't come back,
during
and not
COVID.
because
Yes.
of anything, but because Kenya banned the flights
Yes,
to
to
Kenya.
come. Yes,
so
to
so
Kenya.
there's no way I could come
Yes.
back. So I was in Denmark. I stayed there for 7 months. Not because I was performing, I was just there, but I
Yes.
was okay.
Yes.
But when I got back home, I realized that there was actually room for solo performers, because restaurants still wanted,
Yes.
but they couldn't afford bands.
Yeah.
So they go for
Solo acts.
the Mugidi like.
Yes.
Yeah, so I became busier. But it affected especially the pop stars,
Yes.
because then they want big crowds.
Yes. They were crowded
take
places.
off.
Yes.
They couldn't take off.
Uh-huh.
And so I also was a beneficiary of online performances. I remember being in Denmark, and a Kenyan actually hooked me up to perform for the London City Council.
Yes. Wow.
And I won because of this, because they're used to sing. West Africa has nguni,
Yes.
they have kora,
Yeah.
so they have the kalimba. And so she introduced this to the board, and they're like, and what is that?
Yes.
So the board went for this that they've never seen.
Exactly.
So sometimes what upcoming musicians, younger musicians need to know is it's not actually how good you are at times, or most of the times, how unique are you?
Yes. So it's about how you
Because you stand out.
Yes. Of
So
course.
all these guys, I'm sure they had choras and goonies, and they've been seen in London.
Yes.
And then this Kenyan says, what about this one?
Yes. And they're like, what is that?
What is that?
Yes.
And then they listen to the music. Wow.
This one.
And so I performed online in my room. And they didn't mind. They just paid you as if you traveled there.
Yes.
So change to that,
Yeah.
whereby so many artists benefited in performing online. And it also taught us how to use online platforms,
Yes.
because now that was the only way. That
Exactly.
was the best way.
Yes.
Yeah, so it did that change.
And I'm grateful that, like you have said, it also opened up opportunities. It was not just all bad. It also opened up new ways. And for us to know, we don't need a crowd. A crowd is good, but it's not a necessity exactly for performances. I want us to get to a second performance. I feel like we have talked a bit much. We want to listen to you sing a bit more. So right about now, I want us to get into our second performance by Mak Adem.
Yeah. This is a song, I gave you Obongo Bless Me, which means God bless me. It's a song I wrote for people who believe in God. People who believe in God are very special, because whether they have nothing, they still thank God.
Yes.
So the purpose of Obongo Bless Me. The second one is called Alango. I based the chorus on a Luo lullaby of Alango, Dako Mogero or Dekodi Nyundo, a woman who built her house using a hammer. Traditional houses were made of earth,
Yes.
reeds,
Yes.
and fiber. So I think Alango was one of probably the first Luo woman among the Luo, probably educated. And
Yes.
she used mabatis and
And
timber.
hammer. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Alango tado que topanga langona wito nango rwakolong lango mama alango alango mama alango alango mama. She don't go to the river lango once about the tabu. Alango shawiti witi ya piki piki ya gal tutu. Amuta boda boda piko kada. She want to go. She want to go. She want to go. She want to go.
Amazing music from right here on Art and Culture Monday by none other than Mak Adem, and we are continuing to have a conversation with him, just to get a feel of the person that he has been in the music industry, of the legend rather that he has been in the music industry, because he's been one. Mak Adem, another interesting question: what other instruments can you play?
Like I said before, when I began in Mombasa, I actually began with the kayamba.
Yes.
And there's one thing I think that people never consider as an instrument, which is your voice.
True.
We also consider it as an instrument. And so I began with the kayamba, then I went into acoustic guitar. I play basically acoustic, not soloing and all that.
Yes.
Just vamping and doing my own thing. Then I play a kalimba.
Yes.
In Swahili we call it mdube. In English call it a thumb piano. So I did a kalimba for quite a while. Is when one time, my producer Tabu was like, why don't you go for the nyatiti? It's quite a good instrument. It's uniquely Kenyan. You're not gonna compete with people outside there, because outside there the kalimba is there, the guitar is there.
Yes.
But you're gonna have it's going to be a walk in the park.
Yes.
And I've seen that when I'm in Europe, even the artists now, like there's a time I was in Berlin and we're collaborating. And when I walked into the stage to do my sound check, And these were mostly African artists living there, big artists.
Yes.
By the time I finished checking, all these artists were in front of me taking pictures. You know, you can see how, you know, I was like, wow. Instead of even being on stage with me, they went in front now to take pictures of what is this guy playing. So it's very important when you're unique. And it's also very important when it is uniquely yours.
Yes.
For example, Nyatiti, Obokano, Iritungu, Litungu, Kibukandet, you know, Adeudeu. Those are uniquely Kenyan instruments. Although we have them across the border, like north of Kenya and South Sudan, the Bagandas have the Nyatiti. North and south of Nyanza towards Tanzania, they have also the Nyatiti and Obokano and Litungu. The Kurias, they have Iritungu. But the Nyatiti is special because I think the players of the Nyatiti maintained how it is played, how it is tuned.
Yes.
They never lost it. Most cultures have lost it. There are instruments among the Luo that are also lost. People don't know how to play them anymore. Yeah. So.
So you have been playing a number of instruments, but your primary instrument is the
kalimba,
yes,
the Nyatiti.
Yes. But Nyatiti.
Kayamba also. You know, playing Kayamba is actually tricky.
Yeah.
Shaking it while singing.
Yes, is tricky. I love that you brought your voice because that was my next question.
Yes.
How you have maintained your voice to be so good over the years. And you know, like, do you do training vocals? You know, what do you work on as matters your voice?
Actually, my voice has changed. I used to sing soprano.
For real?
So
what?
I think God spoiled singing at the beach, singing without microphones, just making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it changed.
Yes.
But voice is supposed to get better with time.
With time.
I once read about Julio Iglesias. We call him Julio Iglesias.
Yes.
He was a footballer.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. Very good footballer in Europe. So when he got hurt, his uncle brought him a guitar. And then he learned the guitar. He never went back to play football.
That was the end of...
Yeah, but he says...
Yes.
And this was the most important part regarding your question.
Yes.
It took him 10 years to become a pro.
Yes.
As a musician.
Yes.
So we tend to rush because people want to make money.
Yes.
But actually it takes you 10 years to become pro, unless you're just a natural.
Yes. But otherwise, if you just any other musician...
If you're trying harder,
yes,
you need to give yourself time.
At least.
Yeah.
10
but now
years.
with pop, with the emergence of pop, that's too long for pop.
Yes.
You will be gone.
You'll be gone by then. New blood will have joined the industry and overtaken you. Yeah. We are running out of our time, but we are not getting away from here without talking about your Nyatiti Afro jazz experience. I want to know, why you decided to make it, a whole experience, bring in other instruments, and just how you have reinvented yourself to make it a Nyatiti jazz experience.
Like I said earlier, Nyatiti traditionally is a one-man band. How? He sat on a low stool.
Yes.
A very low stool. And plucked with both hands.
Yes. And
had shakers on his right leg.
Yes.
Yeah, we call them gara in Dolu.
Yes.
And then there was a metal ring on his toe that hit this lower bar.
Yes.
To give the doof, doof, doof. And while he's doing doof, giving that beat.
Yes.
Like the metronome.
Yes.
That keeps the groove, that makes the dancer know how to dance.
Yes.
The shakers were, the garas were.
Exactly.
Bringing the percussiveness.
Yes.
So he was an all-rounder.
Yes.
Meanwhile, he's singing and plucking.
Yes. So it was like he had 3 different instruments.
Yeah. So now we have removed gara.
Yes.
And oduongo.
Yes.
I've stripped it off. So it's actually very difficult for you to dance to it. Nyatiti has a very unique rhythm that even instrumentalists find it very hard. Where is my one?
Yes.
And by one, I mean, where is that?
Do.
For example, if I'm playing,
yes.
Where is my one?
Yes.
So most of the time, you find that instrumentalists don't know, especially the drummer, they don't know where to enter.
Yes.
They could enter anywhere. So the one is with the player.
Yes.
So I always tell them, look at my leg.
Yes. And
so that's my one.
yes.
you know. So since I've removed the one,
Yes.
it has to come from the band.
Exactly.
But I did that with the Nyatiti acoustic because I added a percussion player.
Yes.
And nowadays, what I've done, I put a drum machine to it. If I'm playing solo with the percussion player, so I have a drum machine that gives me so,
Yes.
and then the percussion. So it becomes more all round, like the old guy who just did alone.
Yes.
But while in Berlin again, for some reason, I went to watch, my booker took me to watch a jazz show, and there was a piano,
Yeah.
a double bass, lead guitarist, alto saxophone,
Yes.
a drummer, and a percussion.
Yes.
So I liked it. And then that was 2018. I said, I'm going to remove that piano
Yes.
and put the Nyatiti there.
In
And that is me.
place of the
Yes,
piano.
and create what I call his Nyatitiness.
Yes. No, we are understanding how you became to be a legend, because you see ideas in the randommost of places. Me, if I am watching a band, I am just watching a band. But you get ideas from all these things.
As a creative, you need to keep learning.
Yes.
So what I saw there, I said, I'm going to do this home.
Yes.
And I began experimenting it since 2019. I still call it word in progress.
Yes.
Like Michael Soy says,
Yes.
work in progress.
Yes.
So it's work in progress, but I want to launch it. I want Nairobian to see it
Yes.
this 19th May. What is this that he keeps talking about? His Nyatitiness.
Yes.
Mak Adem, Nyatiti Jazz Experience. They're going to see it because there's Nyatiti there that's on top of all the other modern instruments.
Yes.
Then these guys now have to back to beautify. You see, like when I play here, it's just the Nyatiti alone.
Yes.
Now imagine there's a saxophone there.
That is, backing
There's
up.
a guitar, meandering. There's a bass. There's a drum, of course. There's a drummer. The girls singing. It becomes something else.
It becomes a wonderful experience. I hope that you guys are not going to miss this experience. It is going to be going down on the 19th of May, which is this Friday.
This Friday.
So tunakupatia form ya weekend. If you're wanting where to be, where to go.
And it's not 45 minutes.
Yes.
It's 3 hours, 7 to 10 non-stop.
Yes.
For 1,000 shillings. Otherwise, you could ask them a question.
Yes.
Whoever the first two gets it,
Yes.
can get paid up. I have paid up tickets from diasporans that I'm giving out.
Yes. Wow. So I am going to take that opportunity and ask you a question. So I know you are tuned in because they are. Actually, in fact, someone is saying, Priest the Poet is saying, master in his own craft, Kenya's finest. He's of course talking about you. Emi Masimoto is saying talent galore. And I think we can all agree. And there's a bit more of feedback. So I know you guys are watching. So I'm going to pose a question. And like Mak Adem has said, he's going to be giving us 2 tickets. All right? And we're going to be in attendance because we cannot miss this one. So it is going to be the experience of a lifetime on the 19th of May. He has said, this is not 1 hour. It's not 2 hours.
No.
3
full
non-stop hours non-stop of amazing music, 7 to 10 a.m. To 10 p.m. And this is going to be, you're getting your tickets at makadem.hasosasa.shop. Okay? So kimbia pale makadem.hasosasa.shop, get your ticket for just 1,000 bob. In fact, if you give you a free ticket, buy another one. Come with your person and have a great time, have a great experience. This is of course going to be at Alliance Francais at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Don't miss it. You're going to want to enjoy more of Mak Adem's music. I want us to wind it up there. Is there someone you want to tell a happy Mother's Day? Mak Adem?
All mothers.
Yes.
I dressed like this to tell all mothers.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Because without mothers, we wouldn't all be here.
We wouldn't.
Mother Nature.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. That has been Mak Adem, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we hope to have more time with you. We hope to have more Nyatiti jazz experiences as they happen every year. I hope that we will get to have you here and, to get to sell it and to get to listen to the music that you are doing. We are grateful. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to listen to one more song before we go to the jazz experience, and then we are going to be having our second live act of the day, Truth 254. She has been here before. We want to know what she has been up to since the last time that we saw her, But right about now, Mak Adem with another amazing song.
Thank you so much. Like I said, you can play different rhythms.
Yes.
And I need to to walk that talk.
Yes.
This is actually one of the most popular beats out of East Africa.
Yes.
But mainly at the East African coast. It's called Chakacha.
Chakacha.
And this song's an inspiration because
Yes.
I was inspired by this, I think it's West African, but he grew up here and he lives in the US, befriends me on Instagram, says, can you make a song about a girl who wants to be a doctor? She wants to be a dancer, but her parents want her to be a doctor. But contrary to most young people, she goes and becomes a doctor first.
Yeah.
Then hits the dance floor and becomes world famous to a point that her parents begin supporting her. The song's called Ban Piende. Ban, which B-A-N, Piende, which means the skins in Doluo.
Yes.
Fold your beddings. And you can find it on YouTube. There's a video and all over social media.
Amazing.
She was born late in the night. Her mother was a proud woman. She walked. Her father was a tough man. He walked. She said, he said, I want my daughter. He said, she said, you go have to be a doctor. She said, he said, I want my daughter. He said, she said, you go have to be a doctor. Boro went to school in the village, Boro nursery school, Boro primary school, in the village, Boro secondary school. Boro went to the city, Nairobi University School. Hero Banu Piende, Banu Piende, Wololo Wololo to Banu Piende, Hero Banu Piende, Epa, Ahora, Hero Ahora, Ahora, Yawagora, Banu Piende. She's in the university, but her father wanted a doctor. She loves the dance floor, but her mother wanted a degree. So our brings a degree home. Our is a doctor. Our dance is away so big, our carries the day. Our she gets a good pay internationally every day. Parents are too proud. Village is so proud. Yeah. Hello. Are you dancing? Are you bouncing? Are you jumping? Yes, are you bumping? Are you dancing? Are you? Anachokoa, anawe.